call it,
Wait,
to table out the issues or to marshal
so a
out
man
the
that does
issues.
not table out issues is not husband enough.
What will you call yourself if you have issues and you cannot tell your wife?
It's not like you might be delaying that communication. You are still trying to process it.
Why are you processing that? You married to a dragon?
No, but I've told you. Great to be back here today.
Okay.
Well, today is a bit different but usual. Okay. Unusually usual but differently undifferent, whatever that means.
Okay.
Anyways, this kind of came to mind. I have this feeling that a lot of women don't want to be left out of what's really going on in a man's head. Women want to understand how a man thinks, what a man is thinking, what's going on, things like that. Like that could be evidenced in the fact that women ask questions like, what are you thinking about? Are you okay? Is everything fine?
Did I offend you?
Did I offend? That one is even a sensible woman. Some women that are not even sensible at all, they don't even know how to know when to ask some of those kind of questions to really make a man feel like, okay, somebody is really observing that some things are wrong about me. But I've come to realize that a lot of women necessarily want to hear the good truth, but may not be able to handle the bad truth. What do you think?
Well, so I think yesterday you came downstairs to eat.
Yeah.
And you sat outside the room.
Yeah.
And then I asked, did I offend you?
Yeah.
Because when you're in your happy mood, then you just come in to eat while I'm working or something.
Yeah.
But you sat outside and then you said no, something poured and you were trying to check it.
My food actually poured on the ground. I was very angry. So that I was trying to see whether I could salvage part of the food.
So, but for me, I think it's just being sensitive as a wife.
Yeah.
Like there are some things that you already know that, okay, this is how my husband acts. So when he does the opposite, you then ask yourself, okay, something is wrong.
Yeah.
So if I know that if you want to eat most times, like you just come into the room and you can be eating while I'm working, we can be gisting.
Yeah.
But this time you sat outside. The only time that you do that kind of thing is if you're angry.
If I'm angry. When I'm angry, do I have eye contact with you? I think one of the ways that you can even also know that I'm upset is that I avoid eye contact.
I've not even noticed that, but
me,
I do that. I've done that to you, but I didn't know that you. Oh wow!
You can write it down. That's one of the ways that you
can
avoid
eye contact.
I can be talking to you, but I'll just brush off. Like something that may take me slower steps.
What I know that you do when you're angry is, like instead of like you bend your mouth to one side.
Wow.
And you now greet like general kind of greeting, or you say, excuse me. I don't know. There's just there are some words that when you use those words.
But I don't think it's conscious.
When you use those words, I know that you are angry when you use those words. So for me, what I try to do is when I sense those things, first of all, I try to wait and see if you would be bold enough, man enough, husband enough, free enough, or whatever enough I will call it, to table out the issues or to marshal out the issues. So a man that
does not table out issues is not husband enough.
What will you call yourself if you have issues and you cannot tell your wife?
It's not like you might be delaying that communication. You are still trying to process it.
Why are you processing that? You married to a dragon?
No, but I've told you before that the way I communicate with you, I break down my communication with you a lot. If I communicate with
because you think that I cannot handle it.
Not really. But I don't want to use words that I will wake up tomorrow and I'll be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said this.
That's good.
So what I do basically is that I tone down. I keep toning down. I might be doing other things, but in my mind, I'm really working on the things that I really want to share, so that when I'm saying those things to you, like it's not too heavy or it's not too hurtful.
Yeah, I understand. Well, for me, like when I wait and I see that you are not, maybe like you're avoiding eye contact, you're walking longer hours. You are staying out more than usual.
Do I even stay out? I don't even stay out now. Which out?
No, it doesn't have to be in the night, but it can be during the day, but something that you might not even want to go out by yourself for. You might just decide to now go out on your own. While on a normal day, you might say, come now, let us go together. But this time you will just find your way alone. And when you come back, you will not gist me what happened. So I will just give you like some time to see if you would be open to talking to me. If I see...
That's a better word. Because even when I'm not talking, I'm still husband enough.
All right.
I'll never forget that. Even if I'm angry, I'm still husband enough. Even if I'm really upset and I'm sick and tired of certain things, I'm still husband enough. The fact that I'm sick and tired, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm upset, I feel let down, it doesn't take away that husband that I am. Because even at those moments, I'm still thinking of how to be better. Dish out something very corrosive, but make it like a very nice meal that you would swallow and you would not even feel. You might even swallow tons and you will not even know that you swallowed it. That's how I present my message to you.
May I not swallow tons in Jesus' name. Amen. So what I now do is, if I see that we have gotten to the point where you are not talking, then I try to now initiate
a conversation.
That talk. And usually this is how it goes. Joe, please, I want to talk to you. And then you're like, okay, we can talk at that time. Or you say, okay, let me just wrap this up.
Finish few things up.
Then when you round things up and I say, then I start generally like this. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Is everything all right? Then you say yes. Then when you now say yes, you now piss me off. Because I'm not like, then I now continue like, okay, so everything is fine. And then you say yes. Then I say, wow. So this is how the marriage has always been.
Is that like your script
then
now?
You say,
you have a script.
Then you say yes. Then I say, oh, okay. Then if we're in a perfect place and we're very happy in this marriage, then there's no need to talk. I don't have any.
That's like you now pushing the emotional baggage back on me.
I'm not pushing any emotional baggage to you.
Because it's a skill. You've mastered that skill over the years.
No. It's not a skill.
Because once that happens now, I'm now the one that will be doing the talking.
To me,
instead of you.
I'm like, number one, you don't have to lie that everything is okay when everything is not. Or number two, you don't have to be deceitful to think that something is wrong when something is not wrong.
Can I tell you how we are wired?
Something is not wrong.
Can I tell you?
Wait now. As in, to me, I'm like, if everything is not okay and one person has muzzled up enough courage to ask you, is everything okay? Then you look me in my eye and tell me everything is okay. And we both know everything is not okay. So that means you are satisfied where you are. You are.
No, it's not a matter of even liking where I am. The truth is...
So why do you usually answer everything is okay?
Men answer that way, including myself, because we don't want that confrontation. That's the reality.
Okay, so that means I'm right to say, since everything is okay, then let's continue.
No, keep being who you are. Let us go through that moment and come through.
So you like that back and forth?
It's not a matter of liking
then
the back and
forth.
Then
Why will you not answer? The first time I ask you, is everything okay? Is this how the marriage is? Are we okay? Are we fine? Why not just
to
say
some men?
No,
to some men, before you even ask, there are some men that you don't even need to ask that question. Are things okay? They will come at you with the things that are not okay. Those are like more decisive men that are like, maybe they've been hot in the past and they're like, there's no need to pamper your emotions. They bring it hot. As they hot, they get it across to you.
But I'm not coming. But I'm not coming with a mindset to confront you or to insult you or to be. I'm just coming as a wife, trying to sort out an issue that is under the carpet. But I can, because there's some times that somebody will not tell you something is wrong. For me, I can know when there are reservations from a person's smile.
You are sensitive that way, right?
So I can sense it. So you don't have to tell me everything is wrong, but I can sense that something is wrong. And then I've thought about it. Okay, what could be wrong? Did I do this? Did I do this? Like I can just ask you, did I offend you? Joking. No, you did not offend me. Okay, then I just continue. Like how I asked you yesterday. Did I offend you? No. So I'm just
but you didn't offend me yesterday.
So I'm just checking, you understand?
So
I'm
were
just
you convinced when I told you that you didn't offend me? Okay, that's good.
No, I believed.
Yeah.
So like I just check but when I see a particular thing and it's going on, then I now try to now come to you. Since you will not come to say what is wrong, then me, I now come to tell you what is wrong. Then you now
say nothing is wrong.
You now say nothing is wrong. So
can I tell you why I do that sometimes? When I tell you that nothing is wrong, I'm trying to trick myself that whatever it was that triggered that particular action, it could have been something you did. I'm just trying to believe that nothing is wrong. I'm still in that state of, is it wrong? Is it not wrong? How do I react? How do I respond? Must I even respond? Because there are I can tell you that there are thousands of no responses. Mm-hmm. Like something happens, we paint it. Something is black. We just paint it white. We believe that, nothing happened here. We move on. To some other person, something happened. But to some men like myself, it's not everything that happens. I say, something happened. If you make your marriage about something is always happening, like where are you going to find time to even enjoy peace, to really enjoy the love that should be in the atmosphere for both parties? That's how I actually say it. If I'm to be triggered by everything, trust me, you would even be like, what kind of a man is this? Do you understand? So much of the time, it's just to really see how I can push peace without embracing conflict or dialogue. And that's all happening in my mind.
Embracing conflict or dialogue.
Yes.
Dialogue is communication.
I know dialogue is communication, but must you communicate on everything?
Okay.
No, really. Do you communicate with me on everything?
Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah. So that's really maturing in my view. Anyways.
Wait. Now I've given you my script.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, when I ask you, is anything wrong? Are we okay? Is this how the marriage is? Are we fine? When you answer, I
don't always like you when you always mention, is this how the marriage? Just remove that, is this how the marriage is? No, the marriage is okay.
Usually,
the fact that we are having issues or I'm angry does not mean that the marriage is not okay.
That one is a continuation, because if I've already asked you, how are you? Are we okay? Are we fine? You say yes.
I'm only saying that you don't even need to go to the marriage okay. The marriage is okay. Even if we are quarreling or we fight, or maybe there is something going on, the marriage is like your last joker. You don't pull it out in every conversation. Okay. Just leave the marriage where it is, because it is okay. It is always okay.
Okay.
You understand? Don't be pulling that card out. Okay. Like, sometimes you even have another question beyond that question, but I'm not going to ask it here. And I've already warned you.
I prefer to ask my questions.
I don't want to ask you the word. I've already told you that you shouldn't, like, there are some comments, maritally speaking, that you don't scratch. Like, is the marriage okay? You don't need to ask that. The marriage is okay. That we're having a misunderstanding does not mean that the marriage is okay. Some people will be having issues now with their wife. They will say, okay, do you want to divorce? Why will you? Because of a quarrel. If you ask that thing to some men over and over and over and over again, after a while, they might begin to think that maybe divorce might even be like a very good thing. The way my wife is talking about it, it might look like a very chill pill, to swallow. Mm-hmm. So for me, leave the marriage aside.
Okay.
Our marriage is somewhere. It's just in a good place. In terms of what the marriage is, it's in a good place. It's like a waterfall, an everlasting flowing waterfall. It's just hanging out there. That's how I see our marriage. Sometimes stones may come that way. It doesn't stop the waterfall from having its own expression. But when two of us are having to deal with something, let's just leave the marriage where it is and let's have that conversation.
So let me now give you my script. How far is everything okay?
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine?
Yes.
Okay. All right now. See you later.
No, I'm not saying you should say see you later. That's not what I'm saying.
What do you want me to say?
I'm saying you can keep... You might even improve on your script. I even want you...
No.
I want you to improve on your script. But just leave the marriage where it is. That's the point I'm just trying to make.
You make me to pressure and use words before you finally say.
It's good.
Before you finally say.
It's good. Continue using those.
I cannot stress myself like that. You cannot stress me. If I ask you, How are you? Is everything okay? Are you fine? Are we good? You say yes. All right.
You can't continue asking questions.
Yeah, so that's
You
like
can
my own
continue asking
arrangement.
questions.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because me, I would try to see if at least, because I feel that once you are able to open up and share,
Yeah.
that's like the first part of the solution. Like once
True,
you can
very
talk,
true.
at least I now understand what is going on. So if I now have to push you and push you and push you, most times I will now ask, are we okay? If you say, and I say, the marriage as it is that how the marriage has always been? Is the marriage like this is how we have been rolling as a couple?
What I'm saying now is that leave the
I should not
marriage.
do that.
What I'm just leave the marriage.
That's
I've
what
already
I'm
explained
asking
where
you.
I've
So
already explained
what
where
should
we've
I
kept
now
the marriage.
say? Oh yeah, advise me.
No, just keep engaging. Because sometimes too, even when I feel like I'm upset and maybe you are using the silent language, you are not talking, then all of a sudden you start asking those questions. After you do question 1, question 2, question 3, somehow I'm already melting. I'm already feeling better. I'm feeling good. So if you now, what used to annoy me when you're asking those questions is when you now ask, maybe you ask the 3rd or 4th question, then you now wrap up. You don't ask any question again. You now just pretend as if nothing is happening anymore. Since we are okay, we are okay. But to me, I just feel like
I should keep talking.
You can just keep talking. With time, me, I would open up myself, you understand, fully and now engage properly, but in any case, it might not really work out for a lot of people that way. Some people are, before you even ask that question, they are raining it down on you. In fact, I was talking to one of somebody I met yesterday, a Ghanaian guy, and he was telling me that for his wife, and let's say they're having issues, for example, not even serious issues, the wife can just call him up and ask him a question, maybe based on the way he answers, she's not happy with the answer. She will leave her office in Metama and drive, he works from home, and drive to Guarimpa to come and say that issue. Let us resolve it now.
She has fuel. Fuel is very expensive for her.
People respond to, resolutions of things like this, like differently. And I just feel that couples need to really find like a very special way of, having to get to that point of talking. To some people, it's a whole long walk. Imagine it was the other way around. Some men, they will ask you. You will not talk. The man is not talking. The guy is already getting worked up. Some men will say, okay, maybe she wants to eat shawarma. Maybe she wants to take juice. Maybe she wants to do this. Men will now believe that it's by buying things that may now help the lady to like put a smile on her face. Then they can now continue the conversations and all that. So it works for people differently. Yeah, it does.
So if I ask you, are you tired? Do you want to continue? That's a bad question. That's also a bad follow-up.
Do I want to continue the marriage? How is that a question? That's not a question. I already told you where I've kept the marriage. Where I've left that marriage, it's like an overflow of an avalanche, of a waterfall avalanche kind of scenario. The marriage is just in a good place. Do you understand? It's not in a bad place at all.
But if you're living with someone that you know that there's definitely something wrong, and you're asking is something wrong, and the person is not responding, then if you now ask that question about, is this how the marriage is? Is this how we are? Are you sure everything's okay? The person says yes. But in the action, something is still off. You should not ask, are you still good with the marriage?
I just feel that those are last scenario questions. Like you don't pull out the marriage into every conversation that has a conflict to it. Like keep your marriage in a safe place. Like the marriage is not something that every time you talk of the marriage, no. Let the marriage just be chilling. The marriage is chilling, but two of us, this issue, we would go through the moments to get to resolution. But as per the marriage is chilling. If you have conversations every time, this marriage, it's like the marriage doesn't carry that weight that it should carry. That's how I actually see it. Okay. I feel that we can, even if we have issues for 1 month,
God forbid.
It has never happened. Just leave the marriage where it is. I'm comfortable where the marriage is, but this issue that I'm not comfortable with, over time, we'll get over it. Yeah.
Even though you're not talking about the issue.
But I always end up talking at the end of the day.
No, of course. I'm just saying, like, for someone else that might not really get like a satisfying answer?
If you don't get an answer on Monday, you can get it on Saturday. Be patient. Yeah, just be patient. People always will turn up at the end of the day.
What about going through friends? Like probably like if like your husband has like friends that he hangs out with and all that, and you've tried to talk to him and you've not really gotten an answer, can you call his friends and say, I think something is wrong. He has not really told me anything. Has he told you anything? Or can you call your pastor and say,
from you,
Pastor, my husband has not really been communicating with me for a while. I've asked him, he has not really responded. Would it be okay if you ask him?
For me, I just feel that having to bring third parties in, it should be something of a last resort, because you don't want to hand over the leverage of your marriage to your husband's friend, or you hand over the leverage of your marriage to your wife's friend. How they manipulate that information, you might not be privy to their own intentions.
Yeah.
So why bring them on board? It's totally pointless, in my view, anyways.
Yeah.
Anytime you call you, no. I don't even think I have people in my life currently, like friends that I've ever spoken to my wife. No, I don't. We don't have.
Yeah.
We've not had that kind of depth that will require such kind of external, party like that. Talking to pastors, not a bad idea, but not every pastor knows how to counsel. So if you are talking to a pastor that is just using his own personal experiences to have to converse with you or deal with an issue that you're having, then the challenge there basically could be that somebody might be giving you something in line with their own reasoning that may not necessarily even be affecting what you're actually pulling through.
Yeah.
So I feel parties really, man, get to deal with your issues, talk things out, no matter how long it takes. Try to see how you can keep engaging. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.